Welcome guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Don't mind me, I'm still sweating from my run. I actually have two reads for you. I have a quick one from last night and then the one that's in front of you from today, which is a really cool read. So if you're gonna only pick one, watch the second one. I'll try to remember to timestamp them, and if I don't, you're welcome to do that yourselves. And I'm gonna get right into it. Also, I went into my inner child the past couple days, and yesterday and the day before, she was like sucking her thumb. You know how kids, they suck their thumb and then they reach their other hand out and, like, you know, bring their fingers in to make you come here. That's the kind of energy that was coming up. And then last night till today it changed. Actually today I went in a couple times, and she just wanted attention. So as soon as you give attention to your inner child, it's like she was really excited and she jumped up and gave me a hug 2 times today. So there was a big switch in the energy from the past 2 days till today. And was there something else? Definitely the squirrel. So the squirrel was back in my flower pot this morning looking at me during the read. It was pretty funny. So, all right, let's see where we're going. And I don't understand. I have a few more ants in here. You know, they've been on, I've only had a few ants in the house, but I don't know why when it's really a beautiful day, I have more ants by the sink. I've been talking to them about it. You know, it's a beautiful day outside. You're meant to be in nature outside, not in my kitchen. So why are you here on a sunny day? It's like talking to your kids, right? Why are your kids inside when they're always inside on a sunny day? All right, so again, forgive me. I'm still out of breath. I just got back from my run. I'm still sweating a lot. So this first read was done. The SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut at 6:06 last night. All right, 6 and 6, the lovers and the lovers. And for those of you who aren't familiar with me, this is a 7-deck read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames. It affects the masculine within the feminine as well. And it's not all going to resonate with you. There's a lot of people out there, and it's a lot of energy with 7 decks. So take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? All right, here. The SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is the main deck for the read, was cut and dealt at 6:06, 6 to 7, and then we finished the read here at 6:28, which is the lovers and the 28, which is the 2 of Wands, or the Twin Flames, the lovers and the Twin Flames. The major arcana last night were Transition, which is the Death card, and that was the only one that was in the main part of the read last night. And by the way, the Transition card in this deck is literally the portal, walking through the portal. And that was coming up as the Threshold today. Very interesting. Before the read, Abundance came up, which is the Empress, and after the read, Justice, Hermit, and Reason came up. So Reason is the Emperor in this deck. So we have the Emperor and the Empress. The Empress is before the read, the Empress after the read, along with Justice and the Hermit. And again, the Transition is in the main part of the read, the in-between, the space between. Okay, so there were 5 Pentacles, 3 Cups, and 2 Swords last night. So here there were no Wands last night, which makes sense. At night, people aren't as active or passionate about things, unless it's a weekend, you know. So we have the Queen of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. So and then after the read, the Queen of Wands also came up. So the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So 3 queens, a knight, the Knight of Swords, and then the Page of Cups. We had triple 5s in the read last night, as well as double 1s and double 3s. So 11 is Justice, 33 is the Christ vibration, also the 7 of Wands, the standing up for yourself, but without being defensive or, you know, or lashing back, lashing out. It's just taking the higher ground, right? Take the high road comes up in my coding all the time. So triple 5s is big changes looming, right? Also, numbers on the code line were all about 5s, because it was 5 and 5, which was 10 on the code line, and it was all about individuality and effort, making an effort. The other numbers that came up were 15, which is the devil or shadow, 56, the 2 of Swords, and then 68, the Page of Pentacles, and in a lesser sense, 13, which again is the Death card or Transition, and 35, which is the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands, and also that comes up as the Mary Magdalene energy. Okay, so the code line here for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames was major taking the high road. I literally had THR twice. Take the high road, take the high road. Regarding the masculine's individuality and the effort. 5, AC, which for me is alternating currents or air conditioning, which has to do with the king of swords, right? Because he's air. Conditioning the air, the king of air. And then the 5 of chalices was coming up, which is the 5 of cups, which is the grieving card. It's also the standing at the Y in the road card, or the not letting go of the past. And then I was getting lowercase I, which for me is the chakra system, and then XO, which has to do with a kiss and a hug, but also has to do with the feminine and the human embodiment of source, and the masculine trying to understand the feminine side of the human embodiment of source, his feminine side, which is the divine feminine. So take the high road, take the high road. With the Hierophant, it can be change, freedom, expansion of alternating currents or air conditioning, which has to do with alternating currents, you know, energies going back and forth, positive, negative, up and down, every which way, right? Because we're going 3D to 5D and we're going masculine to feminine, back and forth. There's a few different dances going on. And then the 5 of Cups, grieving, loss, letting go at the Y in the road, letting go of the past, and focusing on the chakra system, the feminine, which is the chakra system, and the human embodiment of source, like pulling in the energy from source, right? Connecting to your higher self. The numbers 90 and I-100 was also coming up. So I don't know if there's some kind of Mac thing that's 100, but I-100 would be that. Those two numbers were coming up, but I-XO and I-100. The Hierophant going back and forth, which that can be a Taurus energy as well, or it can just be the patriarchy, right? Tradition, commitment, going back and forth, grieving, air conditioning, chakra system, and the X and the O, kisses and hugs, the masculine and feminine, the feminine embodiment, the feminine human condition, right? So for the masculine to understand it better. When I looked up online really quick, AC compressor came up, replaced 5 trips to the mechanic. So somebody was frustrated, obviously. That was 5107. From cell.com, analysis of the conserved glycosylation site in the nicotinic. I don't know if it was a nicotine study, but confirmationally, it's a tough word to get out. And that was I don't know if it's PNAS in caps.org or PIVAS.org. I think it's PNAS in all caps.org. And then the Holy Chalice from en.m.wikipedia came up. And then 5-Finger Death Punch from YouTube. And then DOC. It's truly enough. And that was from YouTube as well. So again, lots of 5s here in this read. All about change. Remember, 2 5s, you know, lead into that 10, which is a new beginning. So we start here on this one with the 5 of Pentacles upright at 6:59, which is the Lovers, and the 5 of Swords. That conflict, it's also the 11th hour, the minute before the hour. 5 of Pentacles, out in the cold, at work, the Empress reversed, or lack, coming clean or being a little sneaky about a third party, gossiping, negative groups, or just not being able to come together right now. The Sun reversed, and Devil waves, which can be a Capricorn as well, drained, sick, tired, overexposed, the Devil and or Capricorn, and also the Sun Devils came up here. But without the Sun, or Leo reversed and Capricorn is upright, in exile together. The Queen of Pentacles reversed is walking away within, knowing and keeping to themselves to stay sane and disconnect from their sunshine. The Page of Wands inspired by third party, depressed, their depression and loss of hope, not healed and holding back feelings, perhaps hanging a shingle to start over, with the Knight of Swords rushing in to the Mary Magdalene cave, which is the exile cave. Needing support under the heat. And when I went to write heat, it wrote heart. So under the heart, somebody might need support under the heart. So that could be heart support, literally, or it could be even like a bra, or even could be a man bra type thing. But somebody in need of support under the heat or under the heart, whichever way it works for you. Trophy ones, the trophy comes alive in Toy Story, dashing in off the mantelpiece. Tree is cut down, clearing the fields, perhaps growing cotton, Johnny Appleseed, and bare naked trees, keeping energies above his head clear, and with his sword, it's like he's I don't know how to say it. I can't talk. Like swatting his sword around his head to keep his energy clear above his head. That's the image I was getting. Leo forces Capricorn's hand to send Mary Magdalene back to her cave by letting her have it in response to their message, a negative energy exchange. Children come up, and beneath that was forgiving and learning. The Queen of Cups is out, being seen, focused on love, implementing a plan. The Empress reversed and High Priestess reversed on his end. Head underwater, drowning by two old biddies perhaps, threatening to cut off their finances, or he's forced to finance their endeavor, or hiding money from spouse or vice versa, or two older women, perhaps a mother and her sister, laundering money perhaps through an investment, or caught up in or the mask was caught up in something he was unaware of as a front. If we go under, you go under too, right? So once someone gets dragged into something, then they're guilty by association, or being guilted into doing something for the children from a religious perspective. And this can definitely be like, the mother and the aunt, the ones who are a specific religion and don't want to do things any other way. And there's a lot of prejudice still from the older generation that's left over from, many years ago. The moon is out and reversed, and the Ace of Pentacles is upright. Deception in the mirror in an offer of a new life or a financial offer. So there's deception there, though. Looking back and walking away from the Knight of Swords. No romantic tie with flame always present. Avoiding the dance. Occupied with cracking the whip with kids and parties. Hair pulling while splitting hairs at 6 and 10. Follow Your Dreams comes up here for the masculine, which is 85. This is the underlying energy. And beneath that was spirituality, 77, which is the 9 of Pentacles, or the sovereign. Depression in a marriage, or Taurus, religion or establishment. Uncomfortable energies without option. Unable to implement a path right now, or going their separate ways, but just unable to do it right now. Hermit with light, or old man with a beard, inspired by home, or a grandparent or hermit and their grandchild spending time together, like a teacher and student, right? The grandparent teaching the grandchild, with bunnies watching, or that can be the grandfather and the father with the children, who could be the bunnies watching, or literally the bunnies are watching. A chessboard floor, or Chinese checkers, strategizing the next move, or Quasimodo is about to jump off the ledge. But he's looking down, and it's a long way down, so 728 is the Chariot, and again, the Twin Flames, the Two of Wands. Or snowbird in Florida with oranges. And dragonflies, so a dragon may fly. And Taurus and Virgo and Aquarius is reversed. Or depression, not walking away and in uncomfortable energies with Aquarian at home. Home in exile of Knight of Swords. So someone could, because not everyone can fly right now. I don't know how many flights are actually up in the air. But so someone might be actually driving down to Florida, that kind of thing, if they normally fly because of the situation. Maybe taking grandkids with them, that kind of thing. So Hermit and Page of Wands. Home in exile of the Knight of Swords. And the Hermit and Page of Wands that Taurus and Aquarius reversed put them in. Right, so the Taurus and Aquarius reversed have exiled the Knight of Swords, the Hermit, and the Page of Wands. So maybe just getting the kids out of the house too. Okay. And I get someone saying, and stay there. So there may be kids in trouble as well. So maybe they're being punished by having to stay with their grandparents for a week or something. Says the slave driver to the Mary Magdalene in the cave. Okay, so that could be a partner too. Secret is out, or a need to use their intuition. Children seeing the news, and or a video or porn that they've been blocked from, or caught mom and dad having sex, and it could have been kinky sex or S&M I was getting. Follow Your Dreams, or kids who watch their father whip their mother, which I hope that's not the case. It could just be representing a way they treat each other, or made an example of, or Ben-Hur movies, or just getting a grip on things. Recently is transition reversed, where the portal's not open, or this can be like post-death, or it can be after a death that's happened already, just recovering, and just the situation feeling like that it's in the aftermath of, of very final events. It also can be, when the death card's reversed, being dead tired. It can be the dark night energies, and it could be being clingy or just a near-death experience. The Page of Wands is juggling, performing, perhaps a hurdle, presenting or inspired to go online, but intimidated by what commenters might say or gang up on them. Moving to peace, the King of Cups, journeying on in post-war battlefield. Love is a battlefield, so that's coming up Pat Bentar. Perhaps moving kids elsewhere is still working, with new germs coming in every day. So there may be some parents who want to get the kids somewhere else, especially if they're working, because they're going, they're meeting with other people every day. The Hierophant reversed, or a divorce, a break in contract, or Taurus reversed, or just thinking outside the box, alternative beliefs, and manifesting the ability to be free to leap and not work. With the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or legacy. Taurus reversed, Gemini and Virgo upright, and Aries, Knight of Pentacles reversed, disabled, stubborn, strike, or just being still, staying with family who has plenty to offer, so there's no problem with them staying with them, or refusing to work with family at 7:45, which is the Chariot, and that Five of Cups again, that grieving, letting go of the past, or letting go of that Y in the road and moving on. Or the Page of Wands is staying with them, which again can be a child or grandchild, but the Knight of Pentacles reversed is maybe a child who's refusing to go or refusing to work. The Foundation is the Queen of Swords reversed, happy family, offered love by third party or a negative group, heartbroken, separation, or kids or twins, or the past is returning to release them from prison. Raining on their parade, or kids upset to be separated from family, sending love along with third party or a negative group association. Or maybe the kids just don't like that person they want them to go with. The central energy is the Ace of Cups, new love, self-love, spiritual love, an outpouring of love. And that could be too, if someone's had a service or a funeral recently, there could be an outpouring of love for someone who's had a loss. Leo is strong, taming the beast, seeing synchronicities all the time, as the King of Wands reversed turns his back to face the Fool and present the truth to be strong. Chariot's upright and blasting forward, and the Masculine challenged by the Five of Cups. So again, that was a main theme today, the grieving process. Grieving, resting, meditating, and the Empress reversed, perhaps lay to rest. So someone may have lost a mother or a grandmother, or they're just taking care of that parent, right? So they're resting a lot. Rest in peace, the King of Pentacles doesn't care if you die, with ideas of connecting with the Knight of Wands. Or the Empress reversed and the King of Pentacles are connected in 5D, in awakening, and connected to the Knight of Wands now rushing in. Depressed that the worst is now over in carrying a load, perhaps carrying the weight of the world upon their shoulders, or that Atlas energy, letting go to repair, rejecting an offer of sharing with a powerless fallen angel, with truth at home from the past, and the King of Wands reversed offering a new life to Leo at Atlas, or that weight of the world, or being strong, carrying that heavy load. So it's just all about that Atlas burden here. And the need to drop our burdens and responsibilities and confess anything, right? Because secrets are poison. So it's 8:01 now here. We have the Strength and the Magician. Now, for the masculine was the Six of Wands upright, sharing, unhappy, and the Emperor reversed, suffering in silence, or stressed out, crying, purging, up at night. Rapunzel in the Tower, the Towers of Epiphanies, and a new life at home. Home and deception of third energy, out of control. Sharing, the King of Pentacles, hero, and the King of Swords reversed, not expressing, indecisive, eating their words, or refusing to call the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or legacy, and the Devil offering up his manhood in disconnect with the powerless fallen angel, with the truth out at home, with the King of Cups, justice, divorce, or Libra, sharing or settling out in the aftermath of coming clean about magician embodiment in the past, with the Ten of Swords reversed, or that the worst is now over, or perhaps going into the bliss state now of the pain coming out. And spreading the word of the karmic reaping rewards of the King of Wands, offering a new life or money to Leo behind his back for her burdens, or to work at their place of business or work with the family. but it's behind their back. Money to Leo, behind the masculine's back. And it's like someone paying off the Leo for the burden they had to carry, but behind his back. Soon as the Ace of Pentacles, new life, the diamond in the rough. The Knight of Wands rushing back from destiny as impatient fallen angel. No options for the Queen of Wands with the Page of Cups, but without affection, in a bold move to the Messenger of Truth or the Knight of Swords to get what's coming to them. The Queen of Wands with a message of love from Cancer without affection, and the Knight of Swords is blocked, their ascension path. So someone, perhaps a Cancer without affection, sends a message of love to the Queen of Wands, but the Knight of Swords is blocking their communication. It's that kind of energy there. The Page of Cups upright and the Two of Pentacles upright, with the Page of Cups performing around the world, perhaps, without option. A heavy weight to carry. I was just getting heavyweight champion too, so that might apply to somebody. Leo is packing. The masculine is the Eight of Pentacles, aligning with crystal work, surrendering to grieving. Now the battle is over and fighting is done. Looking back at offering a new life to those out in the cold, in exile, destitute, injured or ill, in pain, and engagement came up for the masculine, staying optimistic, and you deserve love. Around the masculine are how he is seen as the Page of Cups, opening their heart wide, powerless to the Knight of Cups reversed at work, who could be somebody who's jealous, and the Page of Pentacles starting over at work. All right, so there's a lot of kid energies between last night and today. There's a lot of kid energy in today's read too. But they can be the inner children. It could be all the adults, because of the situation, now acting like children. So it can be a lot of their inner child coming out, which is why I had to bring my inner child up today. So Sovereign is reversed here, and the Page of Pentacles is upright. Perhaps a good student or financial drain, and an opportunity to start over with the Knight of Cups reversed, jealous at work, aligning with their desires. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, broke up with Cancer to show a little love to the Queen of Wands, cutting them off. Effort, individuality, and even more so abundance comes up here for the masculine, leaning on the truth of destiny, of having one of each, an assortment of women. The Knight of Swords sending a 5D message on date night with karmic, and the Hermit sheds light on the awakening. The Queen of Swords reversed, not in her truth, sealed divine feminine around the world, completely cut off. And that was like, we went into, if you watched Magenta Pixie yesterday, if you haven't, you should, because there's definitely a timeline she was bringing up about like the not a literal but a blackout period between now and the 13th, so definitely check her video out. And I did a little just a what's going on in the world right now read last night, and a lot of what came up in that read paralleled with what Magenta had said. I watched her right after I posted that, so it was right in line with that energy. So we have Libra, Virgo, Queen of Wands, and the Emperor reversed, which can be Libra upright and Taurus upright on a date night, clinging to not working, offering to pay Leo to take on responsibilities, or Taurus reversed, Scorpio reversed, and Knight of Pentacles reversed, Libra taking them out to dinner, or offering to pay for a maid and someone to clean up the yard, Five of Pentacles, Messenger of Truth, and the Queen of Swords reversed, working with the Page of Cups in the never-ending story of love, challenged by sorrow and a new life offer, to the Queen of Pentacles reversed, sharing with the Messenger of Truth, or the Knight of Swords, in a divorce situation. 836 is strength, and the 10 of Wands, the weight of the world, the Atlas energy, that burden. So the Mary Magdalene cave, unable to transition home. The Queen of Swords reversed with a new love for sharing and selling out, like a new passion for it. And the challenged by the grieving process. Eight of Pentacles work in a new life. And the Page of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. And the Knight of Swords, or Messenger of Truth, sending 5D messages to Libra, Virgo, Queen of Wands, and the Emperor reversed. And that the Queen of Wands can be an Aries here who's in control. So the Emperor actually can be just Aries, Queen of Wands, controlling that situation. Okay. That continued here. Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups. Is that the end of it? Just give me 1 second. I think that was it for that one. I did a union read last night too, which was really nice. I don't want to go into too much detail about that, but the Two of Cups was in the middle of that read. And the underlying energy was the Three of Cups. And then it ended up with the Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So there was really good energy there. Is there any message there? All right, so just, and also remembering forgiveness and humility. And also for me, I want to remind you too, and I've reminded you a few times about this, that last spring I was getting the timeline of the 4-4 to 5-5. So at first I was getting, it meant this April 4th of 2020 to 5-5 of next year, which is the 11-11, because it's literally 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour. But it also can reference from now till 5-5 this year. It can reference both as well. So maybe something significant about that time period. I was getting a honeymoon period for the twins. So that may be coming up as well. So this read in front of you, this is the main read for today. The SIRIAN Starseed deck, and it's 2650 50 was about when this one, or the other one ended. 2650, I'm trying to remember. Okay. The SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 10:23 to 24 this morning. 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 23 and 24, the King and Queen of Wands. And then it finished at 10:55 to 56, which is the 55 of the Ace of Swords, and 56 is the Two of Swords, which is being in your knowing, but keeping it to yourself. The major arcana for the read in front of you was the Lovers in the middle of the read. We had the Hanging Man, Justice, and Shadow, which is the Devil. And that was it for the major arcanas. And then 1 Pentacle, 2 Cups, and 3 Swords, 1 Wand. So mostly swords here. It's a little bit too much in their head today. But we had all 4 suits represented. And then we had court cards of the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords. And then after the read, the Knight of Cups also came up. So we have 3 Knights and 2 Pages, which is all child or message energy. So there could literally be no children, and they're all messages. Or there could be up to 5 children represented here, or they're adults all acting like children, or a mixture of those, okay? So there's a lot of different versions there. This code line today, there was no numerology card represented there, and there was no number on the code line, okay? Which is significant because that rarely happens. It may have happened once or twice before, but I'm telling you it's rare that happens. So it's very significant when it does. No numerology card and no number on the code line. It was significant for the Seeker of Chalices, or the Page of Cups. So where the Page of Cups had an open heart in the environment yesterday, it's reversed as the challenge today. So the Page of Cups that was upright yesterday is now reversed. All right, so the code line. First I was getting the acronym THI, which by the way in slang comes from an astronaut's slang toward baby boomers, or in other words, people who speak loudly, which I thought was kind of funny. THI also, and this is from Wiktionary, which I love because it's all the different languages. Pig, water, breast, because, for, since, that, the, you, the, to say, blood, poetry, to complete, to take exam, to say, and to think. But what was really important was to imagine, because John came in singing Imagine when that came up. And to consider, to believe, and suppose. And of course, to imagine has to do with using your imagination, which is so important in meditation. So I literally got, John came in, and I've connected multiple times with John Lennon. When I did my past life regressions, Jesus and John Lennon came in with Abraham Lincoln and Hitler to show that we're all one. And this time, John came in with Hitler again, and Hitler namaste'd me. And it was like John was presenting him as an actor. Like, didn't he do a good job? He was a really good actor. So it was very kind of cool that that came up. But George was also coming forward. John, George, and Hitler. Very interesting combination. And the code line was referencing source. Source says Han, which comes up as the masculine, and then the reference for the divine feminine. Aid in toggling up the Page of Cups in seeking love, right? Because the Page of Cups is a child. It's all about imagination and using your imagination to say, to speak loudly, to complete and take exam, to imagine in order to co-create, and Spirit's connecting with me. And that's when I was getting, imagine all the people, right? So at 11:27 that was, which is justice, and the Ace of Wands, which is that spark of imagination. And that's when John and George and Hitler came through, and he namaste'd to me, accepting the award for the part that he played, as John presented him. So some of the different versions of the message were, it's using "tis," like "'twas the night before Christmas," but I was getting "'tis a Han and divine feminine, after death E.T., which also can be entertainment tonight, so it has to do with being creative. But after death, E.T., seeker of love, or the Page of Cups, the seeker of emotions and heart of love. The Page of Cups, that the innocent, the child, the poetry and imagines, to speak or say, to use water or emote, to believe, consider, or suppose, and thus co-creates. 'Tis a Han's Eve, in aiding source love, via imagination and co-creation. The Christos Sophia, divine masculine and divine feminine, aid in toggling up to source via Page of Cups, which represents Jesus as well as the fish and the child, the innocent, the one that's pure of love and pure of heart. Speak loudly via imagination and co-creation. So some of the stuff that came up online, nothing really significant. Titan blood came up again, which 7 chalices comes up a lot when chalices is in the headline. Chalices was there today. That was from discogs.com, SDISCOGS.com. Also, chalice program from the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops came up, usccb.org. And the chalice-Zena, Z-E-N-A, came up from zenafan.com. I'm Trying came up. That's 1982 vinyl, also from discogs.com. And then let's see, I know it's another Bavarian Duke. I don't know how it's pronounced. Tassilo or Tassio. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Chalice of Bavarian Duke Tassio 3 or Tassilo 3. Ancient Sculpture Gallery.com. The Eucharist chalices came up also from alviti.com, and just chalices in general. And then this one was cool because it's Araby quiz flashcards from Quizlet.com, but it's Araby, so Araby. And just what it said was cool underneath, because just that Quizlet came up, that has to do with testing, and test came up as one of the definitions for THI. And Imagine came up in the header as well. So that was significant. ArabyQuizFlashcards.com, it said, I imagined that I bore my chalice safely through a throng of foes. Her name sprang to my lips at moments in strange prayers and praises which I myself did not understand. What attitude toward his past behavior is the narrator expressing these causes, or these clauses? And then the only other header came up was just the full text of Popular Mechanics, so somebody might be really into mechanics. 1928, again, is the 28 of the Twin Flames, 19 is the Sun, and that was from archive.org. So getting right into this read, and it's a beautiful sunny day, by the way, today. It's not really out right this second, but it's been a beautiful day. The Knight of Pentacles is the underlying energy here. And beneath that, we have the 10 of Cups upright, the Ace of Swords reversed, the Queen of Pentacles upright, and the 5 of Swords reversed. Those are these 4 cards here. And then the Knight of Crystals, or Knight of Pentacles. That was 1146, was just Justice and the 6 of Cups, the kids in the garden. So being still, don't move, stubborn, lazy, on strike, unable, refusing, or doesn't need to work or move. Or people just home, right, because they can't go. After the Ten of Cups end of a happy emotional cycle or emotional fulfillment, lying, split, divide, and BS, the Queen of Pentacles upright ends the war at 11:50, which is justice, and the Ten of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment or a happy ending. The secret is out, or a need to use intuition, but rejected, vulnerable, and shy. At 11:51 is Justice and the King of Swords, or could be shy, but also could be spoiled or entitled. And the Knight of Pentacles reversed, stubborn and lazy, or how other people might see them, or just chooses to be still. The High Priestess or Viking Princess reversed, the Page of Cups reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Suffering in silence, like all of them together, stressed out, not sleeping, and purging. But this is good. This is why people are being forced to be in their homes together, to learn how to communicate with each other, get out wounds that need to come up, and learn to love each other and bond and be still. Learn how to meditate. So the Moon reversed with deception, or before dawn, or Cancer Queen of Cups is stuck in their thoughts and or emotions without peace at the present time. The Queen of Cups, High Priestess reversed, so there can be Pisces energy here too, or it's just the Pisces Page of Cups reversed, but they're together without peace. And the Knight of Pentacles, which can be a Virgo, reversed. They're all reversed. It's like a mother and two kids who are kind of miserable right here. Present in the moment, all in perspective. In emotional fulfillment after split or getting clarity, the Queen of Pentacles ends the war with the Knight of Pentacles reversed being more present. Divorce destined, player falls short, holding back desires, coming clean or getting clean. The King of Pentacles is ungrounded or losing money and status, or is just all about the money. Frustrated, a Page of Wands reversed, uninspired, and reaping rewards of the Hermit's light, or maybe inspired to reap those rewards, or perspective from the top of the mountain. So the Hermit's perspective from the top of the mountain, or their light, may be frustrating or causing lack of inspiration in the Page of Wands reverse, because they're frustrated, which blocks us, right? That's resistance. Or Taurus reversed and Libra upright, falling short on energy, coming clean, or a bit sneaky, with the King of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, reaping rewards or daydreaming about Hermit's perspective and being still or stopped in their tracks, perhaps by what was said. The Star is out, healing or dreaming, healer or dreamer, shining their light, dreams come true, or Aquarius. A graveyard of ending pain, stabbed in the back, betrayal, painful end, but or back, in a breakup or no affection with sovereign or single again, alone again, naturally. So that was coming up again. That came up yesterday, I think. So the left ear, mid C-spine, right T-spine or right wing, mid L1-2, and then over to the right SI joint and hip or butt is coming up pain there, or acupuncture treatment, or spinal injection or spinal tap, or chakra system starting to tingle, or ear or other infection, or ringing in the left ear, or just suffering or dead to the world in a breakup or lack of affection, having everything except the one you love. Gabriel falling to catch both, buffering the fall to raise you up. Aquarius upright and Gemini reversed here. Past life comes up. Past life relationship, and then pay attention to the red flags, which has to do with making sure you follow your guides and your signs and synchronicities. That yes, you've known this person before. So the Ace of Wands is reversed with frustration, not burning the past at the why me in the road. The Knight of Cups upright offering love, and the King of Wands reversed, not showing affection to Mary Magdalene, or that Mary Magdalene yellow, maybe they just don't like that color. Closing the distance gap though, allowing the truth. And then you don't send me flowers anymore came up. Insecure magician losing his abilities, or cutting out meat, throwing out old tulips, forcing self to see the truth. Keeping Mary Magdalene at a distance as the King of Wands reversed, the King of Players after all, right? He's the King of Passion, he's reversed, which is the King of Players, which is a manipulator. The way little boys pull girls' hair and call them names, afraid they won't feel the same. Chop liver, cutting them out before they can get you, or in other words, self-sabotage. Music comes up, which is 32, and leadership, which is 81, the end of karma. And 32 is the journey, because it's the Six of Wands. And then the never-ending story, dead tired or after death, the Queen of Swords and Emperor, as well as the Page of Cups and Page of Wands, and the King of Cups reversed, perhaps Aquarius and Scorpio, Aries or Star and Dark Knight. Two kids here are well, with the King of Cups reversed though, emotionally detached or over-emotional, or perhaps a bit tipsy, or two kids getting one over on the King of Cups reversed, perhaps the old man, grandpa, or staying at the grandparents, or inner children of the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. The King of Cups reversed, perhaps with a poor Saturn placement, or really affected by Saturn in Aquarius. And the Page of Cups making their next move, or playing chess or checkers. Page of Wands is more about being outdoors, so they're really frustrated and stuck inside. Or perhaps they're in Florida, or wanting to go to Florida, and this came up that the kids might be going with a grandparent or something like that. Or maybe they're dreaming about being there, because they usually do go. Jogging, gardening, or out by the orange trees, or imagining being there, the Page of Wands being more sporty than the Page of Cups, right? A parent or grandparent, or perhaps uncle admiring their kids. One is like the King of Cups, and one is like the Emperor. So they're, it's like people sitting back watching their kids and realizing how much they are like themselves or somebody else in the family. So King of Cups reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, connecting their bonding in their own suffering. Perhaps maybe they're ones that don't normally see eye to eye, because one's the Knight of Pentacles and the other one is the King of Cups, right? So they have different points of view, but perhaps they do now see eye to eye because of the suffering they're both going through. Perhaps a niece or a nephew or a friend's kid or babysitter, but someone who's older than your kids is more like you than your kids. So you're actually bonding with them, or gets what you're going through at least. The King of Cups is purging, crying, drinking, or emotionally detaching while not working or just being still, while the Hermit sheds light on sovereignty versus insecurities and manipulation. Or what am I to you? Chopped liver? That comes up again. So someone might like that expression. What am I, chopped liver? So, and then after saying that, it was coming up as music to your ears. Or conditions of love. Instead of being unconditional, there are conditions of love between a Virgo and a Virgo, between a Virgo and a Libra, or a Virgo and a Gemini or Aquarius, and the day the music died. And then 12-21-12 was coming up, and the journey. And Journey song, Don't Stop Believing. So Don't Stop Believing came up from YouTube, but then also from dictionary.com came up 6-day journey. And then 12-21-20 this year equals 37, which is unconditional love. It's the King of Cups. So again, that 12-21-20. And it's significant. I always remember that too, because my Jupiter and Saturn are both conjunct in Capricorn, which is that same conjunction that happens in December. So it's significant. There's some significant junction there, okay? So recently is the Two of Cups upright here in this read for the masculine. Confessing, dumping burdens, being patient, taking one step at a time, recovering from exile, destitution, an injury or an illness, or just holding their tongue at work, with Hermit shedding light there, post-war juggling act, or back to the daily grind. Resting, praying, meditating in the 5D with your twin, or laying to rest, the Fool is free to leap, the King of Swords upright, holding on, being Scroogey, saving, or dumped, or in the dumps, crying, perhaps peeing too much or vomiting, or pushed to your emotional limits, dead tired, clinging or clingy, or never-ending story, or after death, crying, or somebody who's just in mourning. The foundation here is the Hanging Man upright, hanging out with a new perspective, or looking for new perspectives, grounding and integrating that offer of love to, or with the wounded warrior, without option, but to dump the wounded warrior, or dump emotions out on them. And then I was getting again, and she pours herself on me. All right, so that's coming up. If the world should stop revolving, spinning slowly down to die, I'd spend the end with you. And when the world was through, right, then one by one, the stars would all go out, and you and I would simply fly away. So that was coming up. Then the squirrel was in my flower pot again, and that was at 104 to 5, which is the Magician and the Emperor and the Hierophant. Realizing there's no options, if unable to implement offering a cup of love, then that cup gets poured out on you. Perhaps someone threw a drink in your face, or got burned under the heat or the hairdryer at 107, which is the Magician and the Chariot, or perhaps head is wrapped, or a head wrap, or post-war or post-surgery. So somebody has a wrap because they had surgery. All right, the wounded warrior collecting multiple lesser loves due to one big love who dumped them in the past that almost killed them. Still with that death wish 2000. I don't know how many of you saw that movie. I saw it when I was a little girl, so probably not too many of you, but that was coming up. Death Wish 2000. It was a movie about all these death weapon cars. They all had different kind of swords and different killing things on the front of the car, and you got points for killing people with the car. And of course you got the most points for killing babies. And when they couldn't find people to kill, they would drive past the hospitals and take out all the old people. This is something I saw in junior high school, I think. But anyway, it was coming up. But the mask is still with that Death Wish 2000. Death Wish 2000. And that's funny, it came up with the Magician and the Chariot. It's definitely like someone running over people. So the central issue is the lovers reversed, with good news on the journey of completion or to completion of the cycle, or out in the world, or going to the sealed divine feminine to spread the word about the devil's wave, addictions and codependencies. Or the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, which are both upright here, side by side, which is the sovereign in their ability to manifest and the sovereignty in their being happy with themselves. So it's that perfect representation of the masculine and feminine, side by side. But Capricorn and shadow sovereign, and Pisces light and worldly wizard, perhaps. Post-war juggling toward dumping one or the other, one who's sovereign or the one who's emotionally fulfilled, worldly or devilish, or an error in their perspective, that the independent woman with money is the devil, which is actually just a Capricorn person. So it could be there could be issues coming up with the way the masculine's looking at something. Not seeing the perspective correctly, or not seeing the positive perspective. The challenge being the Page of Cups reversed, perhaps a child that's not present right there. Maybe they got stuck at somebody else's house, or closing off their heart, rejection, vulnerable, shy, or spoiled and entitled, which can be two sides of the same coin, right? Because they can react that way when they're feeling threatened. Or being chained to the devil, juggling and riding in with good news about dumping the divine feminine and telling the devil or Capricorn, or riding in with good news, hoping the divine feminine steps up to the plate and waves hello, even if there's other people present. The journey's complete, or neighborhood watch, or the words getting out about a breakup, telling the Pisces and Gemini, he said hasta la vista, to being independent and yet chained together. What's the point of being together if you don't depend on each other? The challenge being the Page of Cups reversed, or Gemini reversed, challenged by the Pisces child reversed, or Gemini reversed, taking a journey around the world and messaging the Capricorn or devil energy about it as the Capricorn waves goodbye. Or Pisces adult and Gemini child going and the Capricorn staying home. Or Capricorn and Gemini kid going and waving, and the Gemini reversed is annoyed that they're stuck home with the Pisces Page of Cups reversed, who's whiny. The King of Cups upright and the Page of Swords upright, child or King of Cups sent a message to cut off the divine feminine messages of love, with the Queen of Wands reversed over him, threatening to hold back money and or using the kids as collateral if he gets together with his twin. Or the Queen of Wands reversed is tired or pissed of saving for the kids, and the King of Cups is conflicted or fighting at work when the kids are present because they can't concentrate, or having to take the kids to work interferes with his focus in order to get things done. Or breaking up and taking the kids to the King of Cups country house, but the Page of Cups doesn't want to go, And the Page of Wands reversed is frustrated, unable to be physical, because they're a more physical kid, and just daydreaming. And the Fool, free to leap away from negativity back and forth whenever they please. So the Queen of Wands reversed may be tired of just being sovereign with everything that she needs, but stuck with the kids all the time, while the Divine Masculine, Knight of Cups, gets to come and go as he pleases. And that was at 139, which is the Magician and the Knight of Cups. So either they don't like now having to hold back money because of the situation with the world, holding back their money, time, and energy from the kids now, or doesn't like hanging out with the kids unless she has money to spend with them because it makes it easier, right? Or pissed that she has to hold back while he's still spending on expensive sports or going to the country with a father or to meetings while she's stuck at home with the kids. Or while she holds back, while he adds notches on his belt at work, which can be projects or can be women as well, but it could just be flirtations as well, getting attention. But this is like the karmic partner feeling like they don't get any credit. 145 comes up, the Magician and the Five of Cups again. Grieving, standing at the Y in the road, or not letting go of the past. Sharing with depressed or alcoholic, hurting each other, no reunion with big love at work, defenseless to hugs of patient angel, fighting, conflicted or conflicting at cross purposes with the King of Wands reversed and the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Perhaps a player who's all about money, right? The King of Wands is reversed here. Can be someone's just tired too. You know, it doesn't have to be the player, but it can be for sure, especially next to the Ten of Pentacles who's spending money on him. The Divine Masculine freeing self from a negative exchange in relationship where they're hurting each other with the third party big love at work, defenseless to hugs he initially resisted. Patient angel and King of Cups in conflict of interest, or kids putting up a block so they couldn't get in. The King of Wands reversed may be angry, tired, or a player of passions, and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or legacy, spending their money or losing their money, or family, or could be losing family members as well, or just dysfunctional about money issues. The Queen of Swords is upright, speaking up about flame, healing and forgiving, the journeyman, and leading the way. Now for the masculine is injustice overall, or pending the rebalancing act. Unfair, defenseless to energies and attacks, and that it's justice, it could be Libra energy as well. Unfair, defenseless to energies and attacks of the Magician reversed, insecure or manipulative, or a man without his tools. The Knight of Wands reversed player, or with good intent but fell short, or holding back their desires with third party and or negative groups and or associations or influences. The Queen of Cups is reversed here, and the King of Cups is reversed as well, next to each other. So it's like the Knight of Wands is reversed with the Three of Cups reversed, and then the King and Queen of Cups reversed. It can also be someone's parents that they don't necessarily want to hang out with, right? They don't feel like they're good influences on the kids. It's a couple that perhaps the Libra energy or justice energy doesn't want around the King and Queen of Cups. There's also Scorpio there and Gemini, Virgo energies around there too. So, injustice of sharing with third party, or just sharing in general when no one can come together, or sharing gossip over indulgences, or that they have no social life, or bad influences, uncomfortable in the energies, or uncomfortable with epiphanies that come out, or uncomfortable with surprises. Some people just don't like to be surprised, and sudden events, or blowing their top, crown, or cover about two lovers, and discernment and disconnect. When he knew and kept to himself, running roughshod over twin, and or Cancer bowled over the Knight of Wands reversed, perhaps the Knight of Wands reversed in a jealous rage about big love at work, but no lover. Defenseless to jealous rages, the masculine of lover, Gemini, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Cancer energies, perhaps feeling like they screwed up, or now after perhaps maybe they messed up with something and now trying to heal and forgive. Coming clean to the wounded warrior, or as the wounded warrior, grieving the nightmare of the King of Wands reversed, emotional fulfillment, destined, patient angel, or Sagittarius Libra, King of Wands reversed, destined to sacrifice to make their family or everyone else happy. Patient with women and suffering, defenseless and conflicted about leaning on the truth. And that was at 208, which is the High Priestess and the Strength card. So that could be Pisces and Leo too. But conflicted about leaning on the truth of exposed butts, legs, and boobs at 208, obsessing over cutting cords, cutting ties, hair, or wanting a lock to remember her by, perhaps has a collection of locks of hair, or collects for locks of love, or obsessing over surgeries or perfect stitches or threads. And recently is elbow pain, or not recently, but right elbow pain coming up, and perhaps getting acupressure or needing it. Destined to have women all around him, but unable to have the one, holding on to the past, but no longer that person that he was. Soon coming up here is the shadow upright, synchronicities and options, heaven in their eyes, or magpie shopping addiction. Too many choices, like a kid in a candy store, wanting to try each one on for size. 7 options and 6 already on his belt. Only one stands out now, but is out of his reach. The Queen of Swords speaks. Sunshine, kids, happiness and full exposure, unconditional love, and pulling the sword from the stone. The initial entry wound, the first cut, is the deepest. 2 more notches available on his belt, but which to choose for the 7th and final one? Third party, Page of Cups reversed, rejected, dumped, no affection for sharing third energy blocks and frustrations, an inability to conceive or conceptualize unconditional love and spreading the word, or a quest for the 7, the Holy Grail. 7 minutes in heaven, or unable to come together with others due to a virus, feeling rejected, or a child is, vulnerable, shy, or spoiled and entitled, or in need of a lover, affection, or Gabriel's mediation to sort out the third energy thing and unconditional love and messages. Perhaps that's what happens in Hieros Gamos, that Gabriel settles the score. Light versus shadow, 1 to 1 or 11 to 11. He is seeing himself as the 7 of Swords reversed, coming clean and getting clean, or rejecting downloads or fighting viruses or pains, unable to come together and resting in silence or meditation in 5D, with third party trying to reconcile downloads, destined to hang out to see new perspectives, with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, dysfunctional family or family with money to support them at the moment, and Taurus reversed, religion reversed or establishment reversed, perhaps losing money, or just being spiritual and outside the box with their family, business, or legacy. Destined to wisdom of stillness and sharing the wealth with the spiritual community at 228, which is the High Priestess, and again the 2 of Wands, the twin flames. Romantic feelings comes up, and beneath that is true love, that this is a romance of a lifetime. Around him, or how he's seen, is the Knight of Swords reversed, not sending their 5D messages, frustrated with connection, as the Knight of Cups offers love to the Empress. Holding their tongue, frustrated Knight of Cups offers love to the Empress partner or soulmate, which can be a parent as well. But there's someone, it looks like it's someone they want to be with, because there's sexual frustration there. So the Knight of Cups is coming forward with love, but they're sexually frustrated at the same time with the 2 of Cups Empress. Okay, so 230 is the High Priestess and the 4 of Wands, the union energy. The masculine needs to clear blocks around the Page of Swords, which has to do with news and messages, kids who like to talk, deliberation, and a release from the never-ending story, the clinginess in a split, divide, lies, or cutting through the BS, cutting to the chase, unable to cut the cord, getting to the point, the first point, the initial wound at 0 point, the bite of the apple that's been stuck in Adam's throat forever after, and Eve's hymen reflecting Adam's ownership. He needs to come clean, and she needs to be open to it, a need to come together and journey on, carry on, as I'm getting connection here, and get carried away over the threshold. The 10 of Wands reversed, all hands and cards down, done his 7 to 10 step program, which if you put 7 and 10 together is 71, 0, which is the 3 of Pentacles, the co-creation. It's also the Trinity energy. It's backed up by Source. So after all hands and cards down, like so everyone, all hands down on the table, he's done his 7 to 10 step program, and instead of walking up the steps is now coming back down. The Chariot to the Magician destined at 0 point and blast off as the flames are ignited, blasting off all the last minute viruses like spark plugs and revving the engine, clearing and blasting plaques off your teeth, unable to find peace or be alone if the King of Swords continues a 3D relationship and is not possible to break up with the sealed divine feminine. Dropping their burdens on graduation day, the Fool's Journey. April 1st, 2020 adds up to the 9. It is the Hermit. The Fool's Journey to the Hermit, which is the wise one within, going from the fool of the innocence to the wisdom of the hermit. Coming down from the stage at graduation, the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles, both the leader and the student, of the gold coin, the unity consciousness, heat expanding and blasting away the Four of Pentacles obsession with holding on to money, time, and energy, and cutting back, splitting hairs, worrying, which are all fears. The Divine Masculine's heart is back in the Batcave after graduation, on graduation day, warm and cozy, with rock crystals about to get blasted to expose that diamond in the rough, just waiting beneath the surface for the right moment to come up above the water. Working with crystalline energy for the Knight of Cups in an offer of love, Leo pacifying the beast or his own ego, while the King of Swords is upright and happy with self. The Nine of Cups has all 9 cups, right? The Hermit, the wisdom energy. The Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles reversed. She's upright, he's reversed. At home or in union with the Queen of Pentacles, just not quite aware of it yet. It's like the Queen is upright facing away from the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is reversed, but he has a smirk on his face and he's looking up at the Queen of Pentacles while she's looking away from him, like he's being sneaky. So it's like they're coming together, but the Queen doesn't know. He knows, but she doesn't know yet. The Queen of Pentacles just not quite aware of it yet. The King of Swords is keeping them apart right now, not allowed to see each other before the wedding day. Perhaps the King of Pentacles reversed is spending on a house, or perhaps he's up to something. He's got a twinkle in his eye. The King of Swords could be another person, or could be his own alter ego, until he's ready to transform into union at 248, which is the High Priestess and the 8 of Cups walking away and within. So the Knight of Pentacles reversed, Hermit hanging out, or hanging 10, as the Sovereign is coming clean or getting cleaned up and prepared, both insecure without each other's tools, holding tongues and 5D messages to connect face to face without affection, and challenged by rejection at 250, which is the High Priestess and the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. And happiness, the happy family. So at 251, the High Priestess and the King of Swords, the shadow side, the Page of Swords, is small. The shadow side for them coming together is small talk, right? Because that's where they've always gotten themselves into trouble. The Page of Swords, small talk or message, unfair confession or dropping all the responsibilities on him. So he may feel that way. Conflicted in the Batcave, working with Crystal and the Knight of Cups, which is about being love. So with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and their bond, and then I was getting James Bond, 007, hanging out in a breakup or without affection, and the challenge being rejection and vulnerability and injustice, holding up downloads or coming clean and getting clean from addictions, codependencies, and dropping all the burdens or responsibilities or confessions, holding their tongue or 5D messages back for a real live messages with a real live boy and a real live girl in confession of injustices and fighting or expanding in the Batcave, or expanding work to be the 9 of Cups, to be love at 256, which is the High Priestess and the 2 of Swords, which is that knowing without knowing, but keeping it to yourself. So the main energy, the center energies with Lovers reverse, which has to do with a breakup or a need for affection. And it can be affection between anyone, parents and children, or partners, or the masculine and feminine. And the challenge being the Page of Cups reversed, because the Page of Cups is the innocent love. But when they're reversed, their heart closes up. It's like when a little kid won't talk to you because they've been so hurt by you. So hanging out, being still, Gemini reversed and Libra reversed, challenged by Pisces reversed, and kids perhaps fighting or injustice by dumping all responsibilities, and surprise, perhaps surprise the divine feminine, or excuse me, the divine masculine, that they didn't fight them on it by just being loved. So it's like kids, where normally maybe the divine masculine would have gotten pissed at them about something, like them ready for a fight. They came to him with something and he actually didn't fight them on it at all. He was just being loved. So it was like the kids coming up as really surprised that he didn't react to that. So that was a good energy there. So again, don't forget there's lots of kids here. So it can be all about the kid energy and the play back and forth between them and the masculine and the family that's going on right now. Or people going to stay with other people like the grandparents, or going to Florida, whatever it is. But, you know, there's definitely multiple people here. Or they can all be adults and there's no children. It all has to do with adults and their inner children and the messages going on between them. So let's just pull a few. It's already 105, 106, which is the Magician and the Lovers with a lot of source behind it. I meant to pull from the energy deck last night and I didn't, so I'll give you an energy card for sure. I don't want to do much. All right, so for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And let's clear all negative, dark, and viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so what is our message from these reads? What's most helpful to everybody watching today? Well, that was that was a smooth guy. Well, there's your hostilities, very smooth. 26 is the Page of Wands. And so, you know, he's ready to cut a mother. Okay. So that's very obvious, that energy. There's nothing else to say. There's hostilities, anger that needs to be released. 26 has to do with frustrations of a child. That's the Page of Wands reversed. Right? Frustration. Frustration is resistance to something you just need to let go of and have trust about, or faith. And this card, Angel of Love, very opposite, aren't they? This is like it's like the light and the shadow of that Page of Cups. This is 49 though, which is the Nine of Cups, which is loving yourself, being completely happy with yourself, and being Angel of Love. All right. So again, this is reconciling both sides of yourself, or the masculine and feminine within you, and this can be between parents and children as well. Right? When the child of love frustrates you, right? That's your issue, not theirs. All right. So the anger is about blocking yourself. It's resistance, because we need to learn to be more patient and loving with each other. If something doesn't resonate with you and you feel triggered, you walk away until you're calmed down and you're ready to talk about it more calmly again. So just like the wild horse, until they're ready to come to you, you keep walking away and back. It's a process, you know, instead of just snapping like we've all been trained to do, right? So this is about being totally loving with yourself and totally not loving with yourself, which is the Page of Wands reversed, totally frustrated and blocking and coming at you with a sword. The underlying energy here is envy. All right, so what looks like there's some masculine envy going on, and this could be it's like the evil sorceress. Number 20 is Judgment. Who is that? The judge. And that the old biddies were coming up too last night when I was doing some cards. So maybe like a mother and her sister who are kind of prejudiced or older and religious and don't believe in anyone else's stuff. You know, we're just very one-sided when it comes to religion or politics or culture. And so they could be affecting the divine masculine, all right? So this could be a mother or a figure or his partner who's like casting spells or just influencing him to cut out the love, because then she won't be able to control him, all right? So that's the kind of energy that's coming up here. And this can just be a child as well. So the masculine may have been taught by his mother to behave this way, to react, right? Because they were very strict and they lost their temper, and not wanting to behave that way anymore, breaking the chain, right, in the family. Or this could be a partner expecting you to be this way. Or the partner is controlling him, and that's what's frustrating him, and then he takes it out on the child. All right? Or this could be the divine feminine, and also being taught that being sweet and loving is weak. So there's all of that. There's envy here. The envy created the hostilities, which is being taken out on the innocent. All right, that's the message there. Don't take your anger and frustration out on the innocent. Because this person, she's not angry. She's the puppet master. You see that? She's the puppet master. She's controlling people. She's triggering them so she can take their energy or just get them to do what she wants them to do. And the other one takes it out on somebody else. It's a chain reaction there. All right, let's see here. I really like the, I'm going to pull you a gem card today too. This is from the Crystal Angels. So there's nice messages on these cards too. I haven't pulled this in this read yet, so. So again, for everybody, what do we need to know? That was a good message. We don't usually get messages like that. It was very different. Kind of like the fairy tales, you know, where the evil witch is controlling the prince. Right? And Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty, whatever it is. It's like that template that we've been told all of our life, right? Okay. So what is the message for everybody from Crystal Angels? Oh, 2 cards came out here. Okay. So I'm going to show you the bottom of the deck first. All right, calcite came up. Busy times and multitasking. Take charge of your schedule during this busy time and honestly assess your underlying reasons for being busy. So, right, if you're stuck in your house and you're allowed to rest and take downtime, and that's why you've been put in a place of stillness, then why are you looking for things to do? Because of the way we've been raised and templated. Okay? We've been taught that you're lazy if you're not doing something. Take charge of your schedule during the busy time and honestly address your underlying reasons for being busy. So it's actually challenging you to not be busy unless there's a really good reason for you to do it. Not just because you need to be busy. Because you're supposed to learn how to just sit with yourself and your own emotions, to meditate. And if you're having trouble meditating, it's just about connecting with your body. What is your body literally telling you? What hurts? Where are there little weird feelings or messages coming out from your body? Your body is telling you something. It wants you to listen. And all it does is take your focus on that location. So sometimes when there's something that triggers me a little bit and I go into my inner child, it's just all it wants is you to pay attention to it. Because as soon as I focus my energy, like if it's your solar plexus stressed out or something or nervous, as soon as you focus your energy on that, sometimes it just dissipates because that's all it wanted from you was your attention, because you actually are a healer. You heal yourself, okay? And if you're spending too much attention on other people instead of yourself, it's your body's way of bringing you back to yourself. So redirect on your inner child. Your inner child needs the energy right now, not the others. All right, so these are the cards you got here. Jade, wellness, the recovery of health and wellness is here. Okay, and you see how green it is. We have Jade, the recovery and health and wellness is here. And Tanzanite, which I love, ready to love again. You have healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. Well, isn't that a nice message? I'll have to put some Tanzanite on. All right, so we're using the Jade for physical wellness. And Tanzanite saying you're ready to love again. You've healed from the past enough to open your heart to new love. Well, that's really beautiful. Okay, so greens and yellows and purples and pinks. So solar plexus and heart. And then the high heart to the third eye, really. Because there's blues in that too. As you go from pink to purple is blue. Really beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave it at that because that was a really nice message. Pretty clear as well for both of those. All right, we have the Adaptive Crystals, the Knight of Pentacles. They're in the underlying energy. Recent past is the Two of Cups, upright. The foundation here was the Hanging Man, upright. The Lovers is reversed. The Page of Cups is reversed as the challenge. The other underlying energies up there, you see the pages. And then what's in the crowning position in the now moment is the Justice card, but it's reversed. And then we go across the 40 bridge to the Shadow, which is upright. The masculine sees himself as the Seven of orbs or swords, but it's reversed. And around them, or how they are seen, is the Knight of Swords or Knight of Orbs, but it's reversed. And the blocks is the Seeker of Orbs, which is upright, the Page of Swords. Ending up at the 10 of Wands reverse, which is usually dumping the burdens, but this was like coming back down from graduation here. And then we have the 5 of Wands upright, the 4 of Pentacles, which is the Divine Masculine's heart in the Batcave, and then the 8 of Pentacles, and then above that is the Knight of Cups upright. They're all upright there. So look at the colors. It's very pink, and we have orange, and then the silver as well. It's kind of a platinum-y silver, which is, you know, getting into the chakras above your headspace, okay? So very much your high heart and your sacral creative energy, your love energy, and going into your higher self. And there's more orange energies up there in the underlying energy there. And then we end up there on nothing less than the 4 of Wands. Sorry about all my like ashes on the table there. It's for my sage. All right, guys, make sure you drink your water. It's 1:16:16 Tower moments. Ooh. Drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. Enjoy it when you have this nice weather, right? We only have spring once a year. And rise and be loved, you guys. Bye.